weeks out. I feel like a recap would be relatively simple. But before we get to the recap, let's go over this week's question. All right. Man, so here's a meta ethical dilemma. Your characters are high schoolers in an anime high school drama. Just fucking go with it. They're not D&D characters anymore. They are characters in an anime high school drama. Over the summer, you become best friends with a person who moved to your town. You have the same interest, like the same music and movies, and have had a great deal of fun. However, your new friend is not attractive and is very loud. When school starts, you are embarrassed by the way your friend acts. Do you remain friends or drop the relationship? Okay.
How embarrassing? Like, what are they doing that's embarrassing?
They in the middle of the cafeteria when the cool girls came to check out your new uniforms. They scratched their ass and then smelled their finger.
Oh my god.
I propose immediately.
All right, so while you ruminate on what your D&D character transposed isekai style into a high school drama anime, and you had this amazing friendship summer, and I guess all summer you didn't pay attention to them scratching the butt and smelling it, but you know, you're hard up for friends. All your friends traveled that summer. I don't know. Can somebody give me a recap for what happened last week? Or sorry, 2 weeks ago? If you cannot, I will try my best to remember what happened. Going once?
I mean, I can. I'm just having trouble getting in here.
Man.
If somebody wants to roll for me.
All right.
It may be the same issue as last Thursday.
Ah, lame. All right. Well, you got a 15, so.
Anybody want to roll higher?
Going once? Going twice?
Yeah, when you got a 4, so it looks like Julian.
All right, Julian. What happened last week as you try to get into Foundry?
Previously on Mythic Odyssey, we were traveling to Kryptos, and I took the opportunity to find out exactly where the exhaust port was on the Praxis Tower, discovering that the Titan that's holding up the tower is actually quite large. So getting them to drop it would be, I mean, if we could talk to them, a feasible option. I'm just saying. But yes, we did discover the exhaust port. When we arrived at Kryptos, we decided that we were going to fight the storm elemental, the oversized legendary action storm elemental, to try and claim their soul, sacrifice to the sword. But she was there to chew gum and kick ass, and she was all out of gum. And our asses were kicked, but we did manage to safely navigate the whirlpool and avoid dying from the storm, dying from the whirlpool, and landed splish splash into the acid underseas. And that is where we find ourselves, surrounded by doomsday weapons. The islands are not too far off, and I kind of feel like this is that play where there's a professor type who also collects doomsday weapons, who has very, very thick corrective lenses. I don't know.
Okay.
But that was the energy I was getting from all those doomsday devices that, oh no, we don't have to worry about those.
Oh, yes. Okay, I got you.
Anyway.
You said the iron cubes.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes, the iron cubes.
Okay. Wonderful. Sounds like we're set up for a lot of fun tonight. Can't wait to see what happens. All right, so I'll add a recapspiration to your stack. Final battle. This is going to be advantage or reroll and fucking everything. It's going to be incredible. All right, let's see. I mean, dude's up to 3 right now. There's no limit on recapspiration. I mean, he could literally just walk into the final battle of the campaign, just fucking reroll everything. Depending on the night, he might need to. Yeah.
What boss?
On recapspiration, yeah, there's no cap. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
gotta
That's
start
how
winning
much.
these-
That's how much I don't want to do the recap myself.
Gotta
Tom.
start winning these rolls.
All right. So, not with the gambler in the team. Does
Yeah.
anybody want to answer this moral dilemma? This meta ethical dilemma of massive proportions. Yes.
Oh.
And oh man, everybody after
Wow.
this. I
Oh,
will
dang.
mention that
you know what?
the cool girls that came up were so fine. They were as fine as the girls from My Dress Up Darling. That's right. I have Crunchyroll now. I'm cool. I know all this stuff now. Yeah.
I'll give it to Andronikos because him getting a 20 is more is better.
That's a treat. That's a treat for you.
It
All
has
right.
more weight.
All right.
Yeah, it has more weight.
There's a secret bonus part. What high school trope would you fulfill, Andronikos?
Andronikos is obviously the jock.
Okay, obviously the jock. All right.
100%.
All right. So at Mitros High, you've had the most incredible summer with your new friend who transferred from the Nether Seas, Georgos. All right. And
Okay.
and all the hot cool girls come up, including Lotus. Some people think she might be a witch, and they are all asking you about your new uniform for the new school year. And that's when he does it. He just sticks it right up the butt, just scratch it. He's got an itchy anus, and then he just sniff in front of everybody, and then he puts his arm around you because you're his friend. You were friends all summer.
So this,
What do you got?
I
What do
feel
you got for us? What do you got for us,
Th-
Andronikos?
This also perfectly fits the high school anime trope, right? Like,
Yeah.
or just the high school movie trope.
Yeah.
Like the super popular jock having a really fucking dumb, stupid friend.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, it's perfect. So I'm just like, this fucking guy, and then like that's it.
Oh man. Oh, I can't ask you for a persuasion check in a factspiration question, but I feel like as a charisma character, you would try to make it work. You'd probably also get him on the sports ball team, and he would be the most incredible center of all time. One,
Yep,
because no
yep.
one wants to get near him, and the other because he's as wide as 4 people. All right.
You'll probably be a good dancer at homecoming.
He is a fucking amazing dancer. Why aren't we playing Mitros High? What the hell? Every 4th game,
I mean,
Mitros
that was
High.
pretty
I'm in.
epic.
Yeah.
I'm in. Yep.
All
It's
right.
not too late to throw in another.
Another Lotus
Yep.
Witch.
D&D.
that or like the
Yeah.
island that we were stuck on. Like it's.
Oh
Exile,
man,
Exile.
high school island. It's ruled by Archie. So
No.
I
Yeah,
feel
in
like
danger.
Yorgos would
And
be
his
like,
two- and his two
Lady
queens."
Ruderia, my mommy makes me take ballet.
no, he was an amazing dancer just because it was cool in ancient Greece to be a good dancer, and he's
Well, no, I mean, no
He's a
joke. I
cool
mean,
guy.
football players
Yeah.
will take ballet for the balance
yeah.
and the course
Yeah.
structure provides.
I mean, Georgos is comic relief, but in life, he really was like a champion among champions. I mean, he was, he wasn't on the Olympics team for for laughs. You know what I'm saying? Well, theory is kind of crazy, so maybe a little bit for laughs. All right, you may ask the same strange question of any NPC you've met previously in your adventures.
Oh man.
So many choices.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Let's go with Vulcan.
Okay.
Yeah, high
Man.
school Vulcan? What the?
Vulcan can't remember being young, so.
That's what I'm saying. I can't even imagine him young.
Oh man. Wow. Okay, Vulcan has always liked fixing things. So he would turn this into the trope where you take a total nerd, yeah, and you just turn them into like the greatest fucking Chad or the most like desirable like girl in school. Like he would see that opportunity and he would let it ride. He would simmer in the mocking laughter of those girls, and then he would comfort sad Yorgos, and he would make it his project to make Yorgos into prom queen. And that would be the entire movie / season.
I feel like part of that is also getting revenge on the people who laughed at him. Like,
Yeah,
rubbing it
well,
back in their face.
A little bit. Showing people that It would definitely be selfish motivations because he
Yeah.
wants to prove that he can fix anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm
But
not just a
then-
mechanical engineer, I'm a social engineer too.
But of course, per the trope, they fall in love before the end. So,
Right.
yeah,
That's kind of
just-
sweet.
Yeah. All right. But then his ex shows up and lights Giorgos on fire and like the whole
Oh
deal.
shit.
But he never got over his girlfriend from middle school who died tragically. It's just, you don't even want to watch this on me. I'm fucking tearing up right now thinking about it. Like, oh my god. Yeah. Throw some piano music in the background. Oof. Oof. All right, let's play some Dungeons and Dragons. All right, Vulcan, I'll give you your Faxpiration, I guess. And Andronikos as well. All right.
Crash. Who made this map? This wonderful map. That's
Which
on
one?
the
The one with the
Nether
skeletal hand on it?
Oh, so this map originally was from the adventure. It was modified by me because Letheria's favorite color is turquoise, so I made the entire Nether Seas turquoise.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
So this actually is from the raw book. This map right here.
Okay,
yeah.
Nice.
All right. So let me put on some music here for you. Let's see. And Oren, you're from around here. Why don't you let everybody know what the next play is?
Hmm.
You got real quiet. You got real quiet. I mean,
He's
think
not.
we need
He's
to-
not from around here. He's like the kid who took a semester abroad here.
oh, okay.
Yeah, I
I
think.
mean, time
And as soon
runs
as-
time runs a little differently down here, but yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes you
And
feel
as soon
better.
as he left, all of that foreign language skill just left him.
Damn.
he's like, oh yeah, that's where they used to have the Kraken in prison for all time over there. Didn't work out too well. I got the gargantuan cubes up there. Those hold doomsday creatures that'll come out in undisclosed amount of time. Got the Isle of the
Doomsday
Oathbreakers.
creatures or doomsday like devices?
Oh, a little bit of both. A little bit of both.
So what you're saying is, if we could find a device, we could steal it.
No, that by
I'm not
virtue
sure
of
that's a great idea.
if you could possess one of those things and the cubes were open, that by virtue of that having occurred, the apocalypse would be going on. So,
I mean,
best avoided.
Just throwing it out here. I do have a Iron Cube map right here. If anybody wanted to swing by, I mean, that's one right there, right off the side of your ship. I mean,
That's a Mirror type of situation.
Oh.
That makes me really nervous to tinker with the iron cube that Tiernan found.
Oh yeah, and anyways, you got the Isle of the Oathbreakers over there. That's where anybody who goes against the Furies and breaks an oath, that's where they end up. Good stuff. A couple of Titans over there. But I think our
Okay,
destination should be seeking out the 2 whales, which we need to trade to Letheria to secure
I mean,
Thales' release.
Julian's axe is probably over there, right?
which one?
The
The one that was
that's,
taken by
stolen, yeah.
Oh, his axe. I thought you said his X. Okay.
I mean that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that too.
the Gigan of Fate.
Yeah.
I don't know
Oh,
if
did
he,
you guys want a like a Nether Seas like briefing? Like Chandra says his clipboard and his trifold.
Hell
Information
yeah.
is power.
Okay.
Knowledge is half the battle.
All right. Let's see. Okay, Chandra's the sets up shop. He looks over at Kyra and he says, "There's no stars down here. A pity." And then he proceeds to say, "My sojourn into the Nether Sea was a time of joyful awakening. The Lady of Dreams dotes on her most loyal servant like a jealous mother, but she relentlessly tortures those who defy her. Surrounded on all sides by such death and darkness, one cannot help but feel alive." And he kind of looks around and he like shudders a little bit, like, and then he kind of comes to his senses and says, "Ah, yes, but in a more meaningful way. What are we dealing with down here? See that turquoise water? You must not touch the water. You must not drink the water. You must avoid the water at all costs.
Oh no.
Not only is it highly acidic, but it is made of broken dreams.
Hmm.
As such, it is essentially liquid wild magic. It contains infinite possibilities, but nearly all of them would change your life in a way that it could never be the same again. Yes, well, time also passes differently down here, so we can do our best to try and keep track of time, but we must hurry. Though if collectively we feel that we're hurrying too much, that may cause time to run faster. Though if collectively we feel that we're moving too slow, that could also indicate that time has passed too quickly. It's very important that everyone be on the same wavelength, the same thought patterns about time, how much is left, how much we need. Does that make sense?
No.
See, that's going to be a problem then. Well, what else is there? Innumerable iron cubes containing doomsday devices and horrors too foul and dangerous for reality to face, as Oren has already told you. There's an ancient forest full of horrors beyond your imagining. Here, I'll add it to your map. Foley Forest, that is. What else? Ah, yes. You were seeking the island of the Titans. It's nearby, if you wanted to visit. Regarding these nether whales, if we sail around long enough, we're bound to attract their attention. It would be poor luck if they decided to sink the ship. I don't think one could do it, but two or more might be able to. They are a depressing sight. To see something that was once so breathtaking. A testament to life and freedom, reduced to a drifting mass of rotting flesh and broken dreams. Also, there is going to be constant acidic damage happening to the ship, but calculations say that we should be fine. The Antikytherian will provide ample healing to keep the ship going. Any other vessel would likely be consumed by these waters and lost within a day or so, or whatever passes for a day down here. There's no weather here. The only rain is the deadfalls, located over here. Where? Yes. To the northeast, or what passes for the northeast. Every day, Lady Lutheria's barge passes through that region to water her gardens. I wish I could tell you more, but this is such a strange land. They don't exactly know if more information would help, or just frighten you.
I do have a question, Chandras.
Certainly, Queen Maya.
Where would we go to leave?
To leave.
Mm-hmm.
He points back at the water spout that just like reverse flows back up towards the ceiling.
Okay.
We would sail the ship into Charybdis and hopefully not be torn asunder on the way out. The ship would be free to leave, though we would each need to bear a cutting from the heart tree, something you've already taken care of.
We have an issue then. We only have
Without...
20.
Wait, what? He looks left, he looks right. He looks at the crew. That's, kind of looking off in the distance like, whoa. He says, but Maya, there's more than 20 people on the ship.
I didn't. When we went to go get the cuttings, we were thinking that we were only going to bring, it was going to be us 5 and 5 B team members. We didn't realize we were taking the entire ship.
If a person tries to leave the Nether Seas without the cutting, their body leaves and their soul remains.
Okay. And that's something we need to figure out then.
Well, that certainly makes things more interesting, doesn't it? Well, Wales then. Is that the goal?
Before we do that, there's something I need to find that fell down for this while we were fighting the elemental. And I was gonna kind of look around, go from one side of the ship to the other side of the ship to see if you can see
Does it
or
float?
chakram anywhere floating in the water.
Maya, with your training, your new training in nature and your incredible perception, though not as credible as Tiernan, you look into the waters, and they seem to go forever.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
How important was this to you, Maya?
Well, very. It's a chakram I made myself with the material from Ferengi. It's the star coral that fell.
I see.
Oh well. There's a way I can probably locate it, but I would have to take time to prepare a spell, and I don't know if we have that time.
Well, you have no time and all time here. You do what you need to do. That is all I can counsel. I have faith that Lady Lutheria would not keep us here past the time needed to stop Sidon. As he says that, you just hear off in the distance the squawking sounds of what could only be deep crows. Debo, give me a history check.
Deep crows.
This roll can't be below 10.
Okay, so you have read about deep crows. They are terrifying. Crows with 3 beaks. Each of those beaks kind of opens in like a mandible, like a tri-mandible kind of way. Their face covered in bulbous red eyes. Their bodies, sort of a hideous, like griffin-like form, just covered in jet black feathers. Their cries are said to cause madness, and they delight in watching their prey kill each other and themselves, and then they spare the dying so that they may feast upon them while they still live.
I'll share that. Are they nether harpies?
No, they're just crows.
Oh damn.
Yeah, classic nether crows, you know. What can you do?
Yeah, here's an illustration of one. Oh, I don't know why I didn't post, but
Oh, it's a square border.
yes, the dreaded square border. I think I could just show it. No, that's in that other game that we play. Okay. Anyways. Oh, there it is. Show token. There. See the little triple beak? Their face full of eyes, their little griffin body. It's nice.
It didn't pop up for me.
Oh, really? Oh,
Same.
okay. Let me see.
I've DM'd AI. I know that sometimes they're also just looking for love.
Mhm.
Let's see.
Gross.
Okay, I saw it in the link.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So, anyways, yeah, you hear them kind of screaming off in the distance. You say AI, you must be familiar with Deep Crow, but not ancient Deep Crow.
Ooh.
Mm. All right,
Okay.
so what's the play then?
We take a short rest.
Okay, sounds good. And you should probably assemble your B team.
Going after the whales. I think we tend to lure them with music. We should bring several musicians to test which one is most efficacious against the whales.
Or we could use a combination of musicians.
I have to press the. Yeah.
Telemachus is a bard, but he's not a musician bard. Trying
He's
to
a
think of
luck-
any.
he's
Trying
a
to think of
luck bard.
other. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other musicians you guys might have on the boat.
Isn't Julian's ex? Isn't she a wonderful singer? I thought she was.
Hmm. I don't know. I mean, Georgos is a great dancer.
He's on the team then.
Damn, that was all right.
Maybe unless we got anybody better. How's Stavros at dancing? Or singing?
I mean, Stavros is all right at singing.
Okay.
I mean, you got. Did
Ira?
Laureus leave the ship, or is he still with you guys?
He's around.
He hasn't left, as far as I know.
Yeah, he's good at music.
There we
I
go.
mean, isn't Kyra supposed to be good at
Well,
music?
Yeah,
No, we're
I
not
mean-
reading Kyra.
She looks
supposed
around
to
like,
be.
wait a minute, was I not going to be on the team? Like, this is fucking crazy. All right, Laureus comes out of the archives. There he is. So Antonia claims to be good at music,
Claim. What's that?
even though she spent this entire time being cucked by Julian. That's fine,
Yep.
no big deal. Yeah.
What about Hermione?
With she's been on here. She was on the ship back when Julian and he was managing Versi, right?
Yes.
Yes, that's one way of putting it. I was managing, quote unquote, managing Versi.
Endis, as an Eregian, was trained in 3 musical instruments by the time she was 4 years old. So if you did need extra help, she's willing to help.
Were they all percussion?
No.
Okay.
So
Do you think there's going to be something we need to steal while we're down here?
Not from the whales.
Why? So you should send PTS to get your chakra.
He's like, where is it? It is
Unfortunately,
over
he's
the
not.
edge.
He's
Yeah,
not.
he's not.
He wouldn't be stealing. He would be
Yeah.
recovering.
I
Yeah.
mean,
He's not the
we
best
Yeah.
don't know
recoverer
who.
alive.
We
Yeah.
don't know who
If
has
we
it.
knew somebody had it,
Yeah, if somebody had it, then he could steal it for you.
The Nether Seas have it.
Videos, we need you to steal it from Myra or from Maya right now. He
Mm.
doesn't know where it is, but she still owns it.
I mean, if you want, he'll leave and he won't come back until he finds it.
I mean, isn't he down here because he needs to find his
Hush. He said he'll go look for it if you need him to. He'll need to take the jolly boat, or one of the jolly boats.
You can have the
I
one
mean,
that we retrofitted for Andronikos.
PTS? Do you know where? I mean, we would like, you know, while we're here, we would. You're a member of the team, so we definitely want to help. So if you can let us know.
He lets out a shuddering breath and he says, She is imprisoned in one of these cubes.
Do you know which one?
I think it is the one furthest north, or what passes for north.
If you don't mind me asking, why was she placed inside one of these cubes? Do you know?
Well, he's not the greatest liar in the world. Let me see. Hold on.
If you prefer, and she'll say, if you prefer not to say, that is okay.
He's gonna go for it. Oof. He says, I cannot lie to you, Maya. Not after what we went through together. Not after I called you daughter. Even if it was not true. My daughter. My Maya. She was very sick. She died from an incurable disease. It was not fair. She had her whole life ahead of her, and she was taken from me. Taken from the world. By sickness. All the treasure I had amassed in my career, it could not buy her salvation. The gods themselves could not cure her. Or would not. He says with some anger and disgust in his voice. When I was brought before Luteria, when they caught me trying to rescue her, she told me that she personally had taken Maya away to save the people of Mitros. If you could believe such lies. I asked if she would be sent to the Elysium Fields, because as a small girl she has done nothing wrong. She has led a good life. I asked why would a little girl be locked away, even in death? She laughed at me. She told me that she would have given anything to have a father who actually cared about her. 1/100th of what I cared for Maya. She told me that as a blessing she could make me forget. I refused. And I attacked her in her throne room. Such was my fury. The many years after that was full of pain, suffering. But I never forgot my little girl, and I never forgot the cruel woman who took her from me. Eventually, I escaped. Only to be caught and exiled. Upon my return. And now I'm here with you. And now you know.
Thank you for sharing, PTOs.
He seems less somehow, having kind of shared this. Smaller than he was before, and very old and very tired.
Yeah, Warren's gonna look from PDOS and just stare up at the cubes.
It said these cubes hold doomsday items. Is whatever she had that dangerous?
Are you asking just the room at large, or are you asking PDOS?
Sort of just everybody in general.
Because PDOS doesn't answer. Maya, Kyra kind of motions you to her side and says, I remember this now. He prayed to me, to the others. He sought out relics of the past. He even went to Arisia and prayed to nurse. No one could help that girl. There was something wrong with her. Something that couldn't be made right. And it was something that could have spread. Not just to other halflings or humans, but to all things. I remember that when the girl died, that was one of the only times I've seen my sister cry. From sorrow at her own inability to make it right, but also from relief.
Was this ever told to PTOs?
My sister tried to talk to PTOS about it when he was discovered breaking into the restricted section of the academy. He was looking for ways to, well, he was looking for ways to gain control over death itself. His business wasn't my business to spread, and he's been very helpful. So I feel like on this boat, And she starts to tear up real bad. That everyone gets a second chance, you know?
Maya's gonna whisper to Kyra that I don't know, what she may have had, and that if you review and what you're saying and the reaction that Valis had was a relief, then and she's placed in these cubes, probably very, very dangerous. I don't know, but I think what PTOS needs the most is closure. I don't know what these cubes do, but I don't know if there's a way maybe
Should we
can.
take him there?
Crash, OOC. Does Vulcan know germ theory, and would he have shared that with Julian at any point in time?
I don't think he would have shared it. But your take as both a student of the arcane and of science is that if this was something that could infect animals, plants, people, the gods themselves, it was likely magical in nature, some sort of
Okay.
anomaly, which your mistress, that kind of gave you a lot of your training, specializes in.
As much as I like the idea of giving grieving father closure, being a understanding his perspective to a certain degree, as it was rightly pointed out, this could very well be another Murmuki situation, and I think traveling to that cube might cause more problems than solve.
I'm not suggesting go there and break her out the cube. That would be too dangerous and a very foolish thing to do. But like visiting a grave and being able to talk, give your piece, have some type of send off. That might be enough. I don't know. Looking at PTOS, he looks very tired from his rage, and his life goal of freeing his daughter. But maybe the freeing is maybe up for himself, freeing himself of his grief by letting it pass.
Might be underestimating PTOS' abilities, though. If he is truly the greatest thief alive, he might be able to actually open one of these cubes.
I know. I think he would be able to, and that's why I think we would want to do this as like a knowing what we're planning to do there.
So you're hoping that through closure he would find release, he'd find solace and not be tempted if he were to just go off by himself.
Mm-hmm.
And we're also there to supervise.
I don't know how these cubes work. Similar to how I was able to commune with Halcyon in the volcano. She was in a prison. I don't know if maybe we could, maybe with Oren and his ability, his relationship to Lady Lutheria, maybe he could do it. Just at least give her, maybe send a message, something. Have him say his piece. Maybe have her say hers. I know that could backfire, but if she's in there suffering and PTOS hears that, then that could set him off. I don't know.
In that case, perhaps as you propositioned it, we treat it like you visit a grave.
I would believe, I don't think any daughter likes to see their father suffer because of them. If that father cared about them as much as Pito seems to care about his.
Crash OC does. How often is something put into one of these cubes? Like when he was
Not very often.
like,
Not very.
was there any time that when he was hanging out with Thylea that he would just put in a cube?
Yeah, I mean, sure. There's like a flashback sequence where she's giving you like your orientation or whatever, and you're asking about the cubes or whatever. And she says, "Oh, I don't really bother with those nowadays. I have people, and well, they're not people. I have daemons in charge of those things now."
Is it one cube per object or or thing, or are there multiple in each cube?
It really depends, but normally just one per cube.
Hmm. Why are they so large
Some
then?
contain because they hold the essence of the thing, my dear.
Uh,
Some are physically large enough to fill the space. Some are quite small, physically. But the potential, the power, requires confines of such magnitude.
hmm. Or we just nod to that. I agree, Maya. I think we should accompany him, because if not, he's gonna go by himself.
Okay.
Our our mission is already to do something that the gods couldn't do. I I think we look for a way to fix this, whether it's possible or not. At least we should try rather than giving up and just telling him to get over it.
Need to investigate further and deal with that. A little girl wouldn't be sent to one of these prisons without good reason. It's not worth the effort, if anything.
Something that's locked away in one of those boxes, Andronikos, is supposed to be something reserved for the apocalypse, or could cause the apocalypse. If something is so terrible that it could pass magically, potentially, from person to person, regardless of age, sex, gender, species, magical capability, something that could potentially threaten the gods themselves, I don't know if we would want to risk trying to open that box.
I don't think we should just go open it, but I don't think we should just give up on it either.
Yeah, Andronikos, it's hard to imagine if, like, your child was just taken from you, locked away, never given a chance at heaven or any sort of proper rest.
Also, I'd be careful to characterize that no one would be put into them for no good reason. Like everything that's happened since I've been here, constantly things are done for no good reason.
That we know of, Zio.
The cubes are different.
And at least I don't know, but maybe you do and can't say. But right now a lot of things have been done, and for what we know, it was done for no good reason. But that's because we may not know what that reason is.
Oh, I agree. Things are being done for good reasons, but constantly things are being done for no good reason as well. So I don't think we can just characterize that as a lever that we can worry about.
Maya, some of us he was saying, I mean, yeah, there's things that are happening, but even the stuff you don't understand, I mean, for what you've heard, it's what Thylea wants. It's Thylea's will. Like, I mean, it's understandable that someone wouldn't understand what the gods need or the gods want, but to say that in a world that is a goddess, that things happen for no reason. I mean, that's a hard pill to swallow for your doctrine, I think. But you yourself, Maya, would interpret however you want, but kind of playing upon like the teachings that you've had.
The way Maya sees it, if there's usually a reason for something. I just may not know it. Okay. Okay, so what first? The whales? I don't know if I have time to. I don't know if we want to take the time to fully rest so I can try and find this thing, and I don't want to put us in danger for it. If anything,
Well, one other thing
could-
we hoped to accomplish down here was to find a replacement chakram anyway, wasn't it?
well, not necessarily a replacement. It's supposed to be the one that my actual mother used. It's supposed to be the symbol.
Dual willing
But
Andronikos.
It's not. As you can see, I'm not that much of a physical Amazon fighter. My talents lie otherwise. So this thing was more symbolic. We'll see. We do need to find it, and hopefully along the way we can find the one that I lost. But if we don't, I don't want to put that.
Oh, OOC, the Amazon dissenters, the ones that are still pro Lutheria, violently anti-men, and do not like the idea of Maya being queen. This would be like the definitive like King Arthur sword from the stone sort of thing. If Maya were to retrieve this, there would be like it would be very hard to refute her claim. Yeah.
So that is a prior. I would rather focus on that one than jeopardize our time here by looking for what I lost. So let's focus on the task that we have at hand, which is the whales. Finding my mother's chakram, and then seeing to PTOS with the cube, and finding Hirak.
Kyra says, and
And
is that
Cal.
it? Right. Is that it though? We're gonna find our two friends. We're gonna wait. We're gonna find two friends. We're gonna get you your mom's chakram. Don't we have to get the sword rained on?
Oh, that's true. So I mean, we can go over to. We need to stop by the river, the spout. I also need a blood of a titan.
Is it too late? Hear me out. Is it too late to ask you guys not to give the stone to Lutheria? Is that too late?
Yes.
That ship has sailed.
I see.
Made an agreement. Why? You have more info to share?
I just don't trust her. And I don't think we want anyone to have that sort of power.
Well, that would be a very poor time to double cross her.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's go.
What sort of power is in the stone? All we knew about it was it's sealing the prison.
It controls dragons.
Well, I thought it had to be modified to do that.
It was modified by the Kraken, correct?
Correct.
Can we unmodify it? Give it to her, which would technically fulfill our bargain, but it doesn't do the thing that she wanted it for?
I mean, we could, but I feel like we would be.
Kyra looks
it was-
hopeful at your suggestion.
I mean,
Oh,
I mean, that's
hold on
something
a
we could
second. I
do,
thought
but
we already gave that stone over.
yeah, I could have sworn. Yeah, I could have sworn we already did
Because
too.
we gave her the stone.
Yeah, because we opened it up
She-
without the stone.
Is this on the SIBO network?
It can be. I mean, we're all there. If you want to
No,
say something on
remember,
the
she said that you needed to deliver it to her along with the whales.
Oh, okay. But I actually wasn't there for that session, so I don't know.
Oh yeah, no worries. Yeah. She wanted you to deliver it to her with the 2 whales, because it was a big negotiation, and it finally broke down to,
Yeah, because we were asking for
Maya gets
Maya.
one free pass, from the Netherworld. If you die, she'll let you come back once without causing a stink, and then the stone. And then you guys could have Talius in exchange for the orb and 2 whales.
Okay.
She even offered to trade her scythe to Andronikos, but he didn't seem interested.
That's holding back.
Yeah, because it was ultra sketchy.
This is the guy that asked the ice cream man, "Can I have a free ice cream?" And then the ice cream man's like,
Sure.
Sure. And then they're like, "Fuck you."
No,
Think
the
I'd fall
ice
for that
cream
shit?
man's like, "Skip, let me just pour this poison in it first." Or, sure, but if you eat this ice cream, everyone in the world dies.
Oh. Would you still take the ice
It
cream?
was more
But-
ominous than that. It was like, it's like you can have this ice cream, but I'm not
Yeah,
responsible
they
for what
took the
happens.
sugar cone
It was-
out of the packaging, went somewhere where you couldn't see, some really weird noises were heard, and they came back with something that appeared to be ice cream, but it didn't look right or smell
Fair.
right.
Sounded demonic.
You can have this ice cream for free, but I'm not responsible for what happens next. Was essentially
Yes, you must sign this
was
waiver.
the trade deal. So it's like
Anyways,
originally you wouldn't be
moving on.
suspicious, but now you're suspicious.
Moving on, you do, yeah, meta, you guys also would need to deliver the orb and the whales. And then Chandra shows you on your agenda that you would also wanted to try to free the Titans while you're down here.
Yeah.
You got a
Yes.
pretty packed schedule.
And meet Julian's dad if we can.
Oh, and see how Julian's dad is doing.
But didn't she say Julian's
Yeah,
dad
I
went
opted
to
not to
Elite?
see how.
You didn't
Whose
want to
side was
confirm. You didn't want to confirm whether or not she was lying to you. Is that what it
Yeah.
is? Oh, interesting. Okay.
I'd rather live in ignorance on this, and because then if he's like being tortured and what have you, then I didn't trust myself.
Makes sense.
PTOs. Okay, so what do we want to do first? Whales? Cover up our obligations to Etheria and then explore?
Well, Falana points out to you guys. Well, if we have to sail around to find the whales anyways, why don't we just do the other things and
Sail
then
towards the
collect
other
the
things.
whales as we find them?
I say we sail to get this sword out the way. It's a very long, trip. We might find whales on the way there. And then on our way back, we might run into, if we don't find them on the way there, on our way to the next island, we probably find whales.
Okay. Well, worth mentioning, Chandra does point out that there is an island called Titan Island, right nearby, where the remains of some of the Titans could be found.
Yeah, I feel like instead of sailing for the farthest one, we should sort of start at what's closest and bounce our way there.
Or we sail to the furthest one and then bounce our way back so that when we're done, we're right next to the exit, just in case we need to make a quick escape.
That's true. And then that way, at any point, we've already been to the farthest one, and we can, if at any point we feel like we need to get back right away, we could just sail straight for it instead of bouncing.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense too.
All right. Sounds like everybody is set to go to the River Lethe. All right. Let's see what happens. Are you taking any pains to try and attract whales to the ship? Oren, you said you had a music plan.
Yeah, we get Carl up there. We'll each time we sail, we'll have a different musician doing their thing, and then we'll see which one lures out the whales.
All right.
And then once we draw the attention of the whales, we'll want to head straight towards the Hypnos, which I suppose we need to know where it is.
Wait, so I'm guessing is the idea is to have the whales, target us because of the music, and then sail towards towards where we need to deliver them.
I think that's the best course of action. Even if we manage to subdue one of these behemoths, it'd be very hard to.
Well, if you need to go to the river, and she goes to the river once each day, I mean, you just show up with 2 whales.
Mm-hmm. Let me see here. Did I bring? Dang, I didn't bring Charm Monster. Dang. Okay, we'll see what we can do.
Can you speak to them?
Let me see. Speak with animals. No, speak with plants is my always. Let me check. Animal friendship. No, I don't have speak with animals currently prepared.
Well, I think we also learned that sort of thing wouldn't work on these because they're less.
Because they're undead.
Because they're undead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So you're setting sail, River Lethe. Got it. Okay. All right. As you set sail, Carl goes to the front of the ship, and he looks back at the band, and he says, "All right, everybody. This one's from my dad." And he presents his new musical number that he came up with. It's the same thing. Yeah.
Such soul.
And thus begins your journey. All right. I need everyone to give me an intelligence or wisdom or charisma ability check. That's right, an ability check.
This roll can't be below a 10.
Is that true? This isn't a skill. This is just like a caster check, essentially.
Nah, but I gave you a. Okay. No.
Okay.
I don't know what I rolled. Do you want me to re-roll, or it's +3?
All right. Let's see. Ooh. Okay. So we're just missing one person. Who are we missing?
Oren.
Oh, Oren.
Oh, charisma check.
Well, or wisdom or intelligence.
Alright, we'll do wisdom. Nice.
Okay. All right. So, as you
Home sweet home.
guys set sail, you feel like you're making a brisk pace. The sea is flying past. Oren. Days pass. You're not sure how the others are maintaining such positive attitudes. You've lost track of the days. They start to feel like weeks. Are there any fucking whales in the Nether Seas?
He's just sitting up there, just watching the seas.
Yeah. You scratch the thick beard that's grown to show the passage of time. And you watch your joyful companions, like Squidward watching Patrick and SpongeBob go to catch jellyfish. You just watch from the shadows of your room, and you can't believe that you're ever going to find a whale or get the fuck out of here. And also, how could Carl play the same fucking song for so long without stopping? It's driving me mad.
While we're sailing, do we notice Oren like feeling like this?
Well, you wouldn't because Maya, like, you're cruising. Like, you've only been sailing for about an hour, so I don't know what the problem is. Yeah. Like, the whole point was to go fast, right? Like, you're trying to get this shit knocked
Yeah.
out. So, yeah. I mean,
Like in like that hour, it's like Oren, like, man, what's taking so long?
No, he's just
Is there
sitting
any
there
will? Is
watching.
he saying anything of those stuff?
Is it
No,
like
he's just watching.
can we watch Oren's beard grow? Like if I sit there.
it's more one of those things. When you guys see him again, he looks like he's just had the roughest couple of weeks. Even though it's only been about an hour.
Andronikos will be like, I know it's tough for you being back here.
This is called experienced time. It is a planeswalking phenomenon. So, good times. All right. So as you're making your way through the seas, something is attracted to the melodious sounds being cranked out of that keyboard, and you hear it before you see it. Just a sad, long, kind of creepy whale song. Looking off in the distance, you can see its surface, easily the size of a large warship, nearly the size of your ship. You hear its song kind of echoing and reverberating around the massive cavern that is the Nether Seas. It is getting closer and closer to the ship to investigate the sound of the music. All right.
There she blows.
So that's one you have following you. What do you want to do about it? Here, I'll drop it on your map for you. There you go.
Excellent.
They're pretty big.
How fast is it?
Holy moly.
Larger than the entire Nether Sea.
Let me double check.
No,
the
it's just really
speed.
close. It looks big.
Objects in mirror
Yeah.
closer than they appear.
This creature has 120-foot swim speed.
Does it seem like the Mitros?
Does it? How fast does our ship sail? 120 feet.
Let's see. The Stormbreaker has a travel speed of 5 miles per hour, which puts it at 100. Oh, sorry. Let me see. 5 miles an hour. So that's about 50 feet. So it's easily going to catch your. Yeah, easily going to catch your ship.
Excellent.
Mm-mm.
We'll post Carl up on the back of the boat and try to keep the whale entranced.
Okay.
Do we have
Should we
anybody?
want to bring it in
So
that
then
close?
transfer
Perhaps
than
we should,
raised.
have him take a break once it gets to a certain point.
Yeah.
And
I
then,
mean, as a cat, I don't believe he could. As a cat person, I don't believe he could sweat per se. But he's panting pretty heavy. Just going nuts on that keyboard. He looks off the side of the ship and he sees this thing just drifting next to the ship, slightly bobbing to the melody. And he gets a look of determination in his eyes. The same look you've seen on Pythor's face when he jumps in front of one of you guys to take a hit for you. Or he sees a very large pile of cheesy potatoes. Or he sees any sort of reptile woman's tail.
You can do it, Carl. Keep at it.
Yeah, I got this.
We just need one more.
He just keeps slamming his paws down.
Play it louder.
Okay. You continue to sail. Oren.
Goes back to his perch.
You know here that sleep and food, they're optional.
3 more weeks.
Go ahead and give me a new set of brain checks from everybody. Sibo, you cannot use intelligence. It has to be a raw intelligence. It has to be a raw intelligence, not history. It has to be a raw intelligence. You can't use history to get yourself out of your feels.
Are you sure?
I'm very sure.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So
Way to
Julian.
go, Oren.
Julian and Sibo, you guys start to feel like this is fruitless. The first hour you find a whale, no fucking problem. Now a week or more has gone by. No one bothers to eat. No one bothers to sleep. You haven't had to take a piss. You haven't had to shit. Are you even alive anymore?
Not to mention the song, the interminable
Yeah,
song.
it just goes on forever. Maya and Andronikos, man, who knew that hell was easy mode? This is great. It's just like you can see in your imagination the waterfall up ahead. You're almost there. It's fantastic. Oren, you were in a slump, but you come back to it. You realize, hey, this ain't so bad. We got this. We got this. But you
Now that we got a whale, you know, we're smooth sailing.
yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. All right. During that second phase of travel, a second whale is attracted to the sounds of your singing. There's not too much from what you understand in the water here. The whales generally kill everything. So,
Carl, you're doing great.
Crash,
It kinda
would
remind me
Julian
of
have had
Portal.
enough time to fashion some noise-canceling headphones? Or is he still working at
in
it?
the indomitable time, like in the endless time that passes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
Because I feel
yeah.
like his mind would have, like, just stat or
Noise
killed
canceling
Carl.
headphones. What for?
What?
Julian, you scratch the beard that shows that so much time has passed for you, but you look down at your fine creation. In your imagination, you have made some Tony Stark level shit here, and you put the noise canceling headphones on, and blessedly, the keyboard cat song fades, as does the mournful singing of the whales. Oren, you watch Julian in almost a manic state, just shoving hardtack that he's kind of melted down with like water into his ears. He lets out a low moan of relief and starts to cry openly.
Or knows that Julian's got his reasons, so lets him do his thing.
Yeah. All right.
I could probably help you with those, Julian. Like if you take these pixies and you just you stick them in the earmuffs and just have them go. Shh.
Julian, trapped in the same time situation that Sibo is, you see that Sibo's surrounded by pixies. All the pixies have shapely bodies, like when internet artists draw Tinkerbell, but all of them have Sibo's face and beard.
So you're in heaven, basically.
But you said that like it was taking away from the shapely body.
No, I'm just describing what the fairies and pixies would look like that Sibo has cultivated in the many weeks of travel. Sibo, Julian seems lost in the creative process. You see a sweet pair of Dr. Dre's beats on his head, blocking out all sound.
I take some actual beats from the food storage.
Okay.
And I put them over my ears.
Oh, okay, nice. All right. So, off in the distance, someone cries out, "There it is! I see it! It is like a great rainstorm, but only in one place." And as you look off in the distance, you can see the phenomenon that is the River Lethe pouring down hundreds and hundreds of thousands of feet from above. Around this pillar of water is essentially a permanent rain cloud, like a splash zone, essentially.
Nice.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, Ward will go around to the crew and he'll get barrels brought up so we can collect water because he knows this is the only place to get clean, drinkable water.
Nice, nice. Okay.
On that note of clean, drinkable water, we were told don't touch the water.
Mm-hmm.
But could the Nether Sea's water be safely harvested?
You could try.
Just don't fall in.
Yeah.
Ocean of Wild Magic Surge? I don't know.
I mean,
You would
I
need
feel-
you
I
would
feel
need
like
a
Julie
you would need
Roberts-
a you would need a very necrotic / acid resistant vial, essentially, because it does eat through everything eventually.
I don't think we have anything like that unless Bicycles has something like
Nope.
super special.
Probably
Mhm.
something, a piece of that whale.
I mean, you could set Bicycles onto the task, alongside you of trying to kind of solve this mystery. You guys could keep collecting samples and trying to figure out a way to store it long term.
Yeah, I kind of want to see if we can do that
Okay. We'll assume that that's going to happening in the background while you guys are exploring.
in between bouts of manic hardtack shoving into ears.
So as you are,
Similarly, in the background, I would like to be examining the orb to
Ponder
figure out
it.
what was done to modify it, if I can.
okay, this feels deeply outside of your wheelhouse.
Like,
or
it's
your
so round.
or your
100%.
or your bailiwick,
100%.
as some people are trying to bring that back into fashion.
Mm.
Ugh. So go
What's
ahead and
wrong with Bailiwick?
give me an Arcana check.
Crash just laughs. So much is wrong with that. Go ahead.
I mean, I saw it written in a Pathfinder published adventure, so I feel like it's definitely a bad thing. All right, oof. Yeah, so you're pondering the hell out of this orb. You're looking deep for the mysteries that might be inside of it. Go ahead and give me a charisma saving throw.
At least I'm good at those. Of course, that doesn't mean I'm gonna do good at it.
We believe in you.
You don't understand what you're looking at, but you do understand that it is powerful, and that with it, you could be powerful.
That's not the right temptation for Andronikos.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you're gonna leave it alone?
I mean, I'm gonna keep
you've
looking
got,
at it because I
you've got
want
other capable individuals you could call on to help you check into this thing.
I floated the idea
On the
earlier.
PCs.
Mm-hmm. Okay. As you
Yes, that's
guys
true. I
are,
can take it to our team of giant father and son, see if they have any insight.
sure, yeah. They are very curious about it as well. Um, let's see. With them working together in the long / short amount of time that you have left before you hand it over, they believe the core function of this artifact is that if you are the master of the orb, you will be able to cast infinite suggestions towards dragons and dragonkind. If you try to master the orb and fail, it will seize control of you. And from that point on, you are no longer yourself, but merely a vessel for the orb's will. In addition to its power over dragons, it is also able to do a bunch of rad spellcasting stuff, curing wounds, bringing forth the daylight, preventing death, and it can be used as a scrying device.
Okay, so the next task: how do we break it?
Okay, so while while you're discussing this with them, off in the distance, as men are gathering rain from the perpetual rainstorm, you see something that causes Carl to drop his keyboard. There is a massive man. He looks like he is made of stone or living earth maybe at one time metal. His body is muscular, riddled with scars. His eyes are missing, and his mouth bears the many scars of having been sewn shut over and over again. He pulls a chain as massive as the chains that hang from the ceiling, suspending the iron cubes above the turquoise seas. And behind him, he pulls a massive barge overflowing with an abundance of exotic and beautiful plants.
That's
And
the
so,
Hypnos.
yeah,
Pulled by Talius.
that's the Hypnos. So I'll bring you guys over to this map real quick. And I guess I'll go grab your whales real quick. Where are those cuties at?
Did Carl stop playing? Oh god. What do the whales do?
The whales are getting a bit fretful without the music, and it does seem like they are contemplating sailing, not sailing, but swimming away.
We'll send Georgos in to see how they like interpretive dance.
Okay. He begins to play his body like a bagpipe, creating a series of low moans and farts that, in some strange manner, is captivating. The whales linger.
Nice.
What is this strange and unique sound? Carl looks over and he thinks, what is this strange and wondrous sound that I'm hearing? Is this the song that I've been searching for? Maybe.
Or not, so Georgos, you're doing a fine job. Keep them apprised.
Thanks, Soren. It's pretty nice that we found Thylea already. It's only been about 15 minutes.
Has it?
All right. So, I guess you guys would be, I don't know, on your fucking boat. There you go. Where? You see this handsome fellow over here? He's having a hard time. All right. You are hailed by the other ship. A harpy calls out to you. She says,
Dreamwalker, is that you?
Harley. Yes, it is. We've returned. We have a
I
meeting
see.
with Beria.
How fortuitous. We have come to water the plants. Shall I fetch the mistress?
Please do. And perhaps some tamers capable of lashing these whales up.
How splendid. You found some whales. Why don't you pull your small boat up alongside the barge? I shall return.
and she flies towards some stairs and disappears. Now, the Hypnos is massive. It's like a cruise ship, but it's even bigger on the inside. You recall, Oren. It looks like it's pretty big on the outside, but it is actually a massive extra-dimensional space on the inside, with all manner of corridors that test the sanity of any who try to traverse them without a guide.
We'll have to treat this one similar to the Isle of Time. Stay together and try not to wander.
And if we find stairs that go both up and down at the same time, we take the stairs going up and down at the same time?
It depends on the situation.
Well, last time we didn't do that. We wound up with Maya and myself being incredibly old.
Gonna have to play it by ear. Stairs do what they want.
We wasted some time trying to fix that. That's all.
I feel like in this place it'd be more of us. Our soul goes up and our body goes down, or something like that.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep your soul intact. Very important.
All right. So, you see Orin, Lutheria just walk up the stairs like a normal ass person. The rest of you look over and see her walking up the stairs like a normal ass person as well.
I think we're
She
still
walks
on the map.
past. Oh, really? I thought you guys were on the Hypnos. Sorry, hold on. Dang, I was doing so good with the Theory of the Mind. You didn't even need to see this gorgeous fucking map that shows this giant dude pulling the raft and all. Okay, okay. And you know, the size of the Hypnos versus the size of your boat and all that kind of stuff. So
It's not the size of the ship that matters.
yeah, sure. It's how many extra dimensional spaces are inside.
Ah, shit.
All right, so she walks up the stairs, and she does like a beauty queen wave at all of you guys. She walks past these two actual fucking fountains, like you'd see in like Central Park. And then she walks over here, and the many servants who tend to the garden all sort of grovel before her. And she says, Orin, you're already here. I feel like we just spoke.
Indeed, we finished our business on the surface. Thus, we've come here to fill our end of the bargain.
Ah, yes. Wonderful. And I, too, will honor my part of the bargain. Can I invite you all over to my ship? You would, of course, be my guest and protected by guest hospitality.
Orin really doesn't want to, but he nods and says, yes, we'll come aboard.
Excellent. She snaps her fingers, and you see rising up out of the water are just so many ghosts. And they just sort of strap to each other in a horrible amalgamation of like spectral flesh to form a gangplank between her boat and yours.
Classic flesh gangplank. Or not to the others.
Don't worry. They haven't been at this too long, and they certainly won't be able to do it forever. Besides, work's more fun when the gang's all here. And you see all of the gardeners nervously begin to laugh, very, very loudly and purposefully.
Yeah, out of habit, Orin will chuckle.
Mm-mm.
He looks at the others. Yeah, looks at everybody else, kind of nodding, like.
Amaya's looks at Kyra's face before she walks across the thing, just to see how she gauge how she's feeling right now.
She looks like she's gonna throw up.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
She says,
Flesh gangplank.
I'm gonna stay here. And then Chandra says, I can go.
Samrock says,
You got it. All right, Carl whispers to himself, "Courage, Carl. Courage." And he puts his keyboard into its carry case.
Am I getting anything special for my book right now?
Your book seems happy.
Oh, nice.
Well, come on.
Or nods to the servants. You know,
who's this metal fish man you've picked up?
That's Andronikos. He's a
pleasure to meet you.
Companion.
Oh.
Member of the Years of Prophecy.
Oh. Antiquity, it is good to meet you.
Yeah.
Are they? She whispers to you. Are they on the B team or?
Basically.
I see.
Looking around, is how are the state of things since he was last here, or the Hypnos? In terms of, I guess, how's morale looking?
Amongst the servants here?
Yeah, how anything out of the ordinary?
No. They seem to be vibing. They seem to be having a good time.
Okay. How exactly do they water the plants? They just drive the boat under it, or?
Yeah. They literally just park it here for a while and mist the whole garden.
Okay.
As you guys head on to the boat, the gangplank just collapses into broken bodies that just plop like sloughing flesh, like old cottage cheese from the bones back into the sea, and then the bones, like a wind instrument xylophone sort of situation, just kind of collapse into the sea as well.
Good stuff.
Mhm.
Maya, can you give me a nature check?
Okay. All right. Nature.
These plants, many of them, you have never seen before. Some of them look dangerous, carnivorous even. Others, you imagine would be found in the deepest parts of the Feywild, or the Old Wood,
Mhm.
where mortals dare not tread. Of note, there is a white tree growing blue fruits. There are bushes that have yellow star flowers on them. There is several flowers that have large, wide mouths. I guess they kind of look like them Pokemon flowers. You know what I'm saying? Like from the Gen 1.
Mhm.
There are a lot of purple ferns growing about, and there are small trees with red flowers. The scent of the flowers is intoxicating, having sort of a red hot cinnamon sort of apple pie smell to them. There are more plants than that, but those are the ones that kind of stand out as being the most curious. You realize that within the leaves and flowers of the small trees are pomegranates.
I guess like just taking a moment to like look around and like take in all that information about the plants. She'll say, "This is a very impressive garden. Many of these plants I've never seen before."
Yes, many of them died. The settlers were overzealous in their harvesting of the land. I keep the extinct ones here so that they can live the lives they were denied.
See,
Do not be fooled by their enticing and delicious aroma. Some are good, but others will destroy you. But I won't stop you if you're feeling adventurous. So, would you like a tour?
looks at Orange.
We would.
Wonderful! All right. Follow me. These are the gardens. These are the fountains. One is a fountain of dreams, and the other a fountain of nightmares. If you'd like, you could toss a coin into one or the other, and see what fortune waits for you. To keep things interesting, we switch the fountains several times per day.
Or in like Pat's pockets, like fresh out of coins. Unfortunately,
I hand
Oh.
Oren a drachma.
he'll just chuck it into whichever fountain.
Oh, damn. All right.
It's
All
a trick
right.
question. He doesn't sleep, so
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, so you just plop it in. Doink. Okay. She says, oh, it's no fun when you do it. Andronikos, aka Antiquity, the new BT member.
That was a good one.
The scythe floats behind her unattended, and from it, you can feel the presence of those who were taken from you. You would swear that you could hear your children calling out for you.
I want to try to listen. I don't know. How do you litmus test a fucking scythe?
Insight?
Yeah, I want to pay really close attention to see if I can pick out any words
you're using
and
insight.
see how they.
Insight? Oh, damn. You know what?
Wow. Wow.
Fuck it,
Yeah.
Orange. Take the inspiration. Just fucking take it.
Good.
Wow. That's some next level. That's next level.
As she goes down the stairs, Sibo throws one in.
Okay. All right. Just go ahead and roll a d20. And we'll just record if you get odd or even. Okay.
Anybody else tossed a coin in? Julian, you're a gambler. Come on, check a drachma in there.
I think Julian had to go AFK. All right.
We'll just say he did. You know.
Okay. All right. We'll hero stack you guys here. Oh my goodness. All right. And she'll say, so who do we have with us today? Looks like Polana of Astoria. Is that Carl, son of Pythor, I see? Carl looks around like he can't believe, what? Are you talking to me? And then he says, well, I mean, a son of Pythor, not the son of Pythor. And she says, well, you're in good company. There's so many of you. You could form your own little gang. And then she looks at Laureus. She says, Laureus, the old wood. You haven't been up to much. Must be nice. How exciting that they chose you, of all people, to come visit me. Georga says, oh, Lady Naderia, I'm here too. And she says, I know you are, dear. And then she sees Chandris and Zamrox, and she says, oh, it's you. It's been a long time, Chandris. And Chandris nods to her, and she says, I don't suppose anything's changed for you. And he just says, no, it has not. And she says, well, you are free to do as you see fit. And she nods and says, Zamrox. And he just kind of... And you guys head downstairs.
I'd like to insight Samrox and see if that was a neutral or a I'm upset.
Yeah, sure.
Or...
Yeah, give me insight.
Respect, subdued yet polite.
Oh, and Crash, I threw a coin into the well
I knew it.
Oh,
retroactively
okay.
because it seems like the party was leaning towards Julian having done it anyway since I was
Oh,
AFK.
okay. Yeah, sure. All
I
right.
just assumed you would be gambling.
So you threw it in
Uh-huh.
the other fountain, not the one Sibo used. So now we
Yeah.
got
Ooh.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. As you guys head downstairs, you pass a massive painting of Lutheria. It doesn't necessarily look like Lutheria, but you kind of get the vibe that it is Lutheria. Let's see. I'll post it up for you.
How was
She
the?
looks kind of like the pumpkin spice version of Lutheria. She's got like
Those boots, though.
yeah, she got those boots with the fur. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole deal, the whole deal. And she says, "Ah,
Everybody in the underworld
yes,
was looking at her.
yeah, those were the days. I tried my best to look the part for the settlers when they arrived. This was me before they lost my favor." But I feel that we've patched things up well enough. 500 years of worship tends to do that. I've always been impressed with how well the mortals kept to the arrangement. How after a century or so they began to embrace it, and now, well, they worship us again. More than they ever have before. In a way, the Oath of Peace has been very profitable. It is a pity that all things must end. War is such a bother when you have to sort the dead. And then you guys continue to walk through. And as you do, you enter these like endless halls, like that just seem to go on, like forever. Like forever and forever and forever. Let me see. I'll put you in such a hall so you can get like a feel for what they look like.
Yeah, Orin just walking along behind Lutheria, listening in silence. You can see he's walking almost mechanically.
Crash. You
Yeah,
can
what's
see
up?
a bunch of text.
Oh, really? That describes
Yeah.
all the rooms? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Like everywhere?
If I zoom out, I see a bunch of text.
Okay, that should be okay.
Yeah, I
But
just zoomed in. We can only see the
Alright.
hallway.
Yeah, I zoomed
Uh,
in. Definitely not.
Yeah, I
going
just
to the
zoomed
one
in
above us.
to avoid it.
okay.
Definitely not going to the one above us.
Yeah. So she says, well, this door here leads to the room of nightmares. Would you like to try it out?
Or
See,
just gives an almost imperceptible shake of his head to the group.
it's quite fun. See, I have a door here that opens up into a room. The room has no floor or ceiling or walls. It's just an infinite abyss of darkness. There's no sound and no light. You sit on that chair, and then we close the door. And then your worst fears manifest, and they come to feast upon your mind and body and soul. Re- Remember when I well, I don't want to say I tricked you, but remember when you ended up in that chair, Orin? Oh, the screams for days.
Good times.
Yes. It's sort of like accelerated strength training for all the parts of a person. And then she continues to walk you guys down endless halls. Whoop! There we go. And she says, oh, up here, this is the Dreamer's Hall. And she says, well, there was a door here. Where did it go? I could have sworn there was a door here.
I want to look to the ceiling as it moved up.
Oh, there it is. All right. So, this room, look inside. It's perfectly dark with one chair. But this room is different. If you sit in that chair, we close the door, and all of your sweetest dreams come true. They manifest, and they come to you to grant comfort, love, support, and understanding. It lets you taste your heart's desire. And then you wake up and realize you never had it. But you'll always remember the taste of it, the feel of it, and know that it will always remain out of reach forever. Does anyone want to try that?
Sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, I got enough of it the first couple times.
She looks at you shrewdly, Maya, and she says, "You are wise." That's
And,
right. Anything can be a nightmare if the presentation is well done.
And Lady Lutheria, does these doors switch back and forth, much like the pools upstairs?
She kind of giggles and looks at you and says, "Mm-hmm."
Sometimes the doors are trap doors and you fall into them.
Let's continue. So this door right here. And she looks around, she says, I don't remember this hallway being so tight. And then she kind of like closes her eyes and shrinks down. Yes. This is the room of scrying. These ladies, the seers, well, they trained under the fates, and they interned with their enyes. Their job is to scry on stuff, and then they tell me the interesting things. Ladies, as they look over, despite their human forms, you hear snake sound effects in the background. She says, they can scry for you if you'd like. Is there something you'd like to see? Queen Maya, I understand that you've taken up scrying recently.
Mm-hmm.
How's that going for you? It can be a dreadfully addictive hobby.
It's been very informative. I'll say that.
Well, since you like scrying so much, would you like to take this baby for a whirl? And she kind of reaches out and gingerly touches this fucking weird ass like end of time like gyroscope of death that's kind of like rotating. There's like 3 skulls that are like trapped in like a sphere of like some weird liquid in the center. Despite being skulls, you can see the terror and agony on the in the hollow sockets of the eyes and the yawning mouths that just sort of perpetually scream. No?
I won't now. I've been doing it a lot on our way here, so
I understand.
I'd
I
rather take a break.
understand. Listen, I'm also a working woman, and in a way, kind of a queen. I understand what you're going through. It's hard out there. And no support. We work so hard all the time. No one seems to care. In a way, you and I were very, similar, Maya. We both want what's best for Thylea, and we both work so hard in her service.
Mhm.
Well, where should we go to next? There's the Hall of Armaments, there's the Hall of Trinkets. I don't know why I'd take you by the kitchens, but if you wanted to, I could. Oh, and we could go visit the Arignes.
Said Orin.
Uh,
Or my bathhouse.
Also looks at Orin.
Orin frowns. Let's see.
Over the network, Julie thinks that, or what's the catch with the bathhouse? Everyone enjoys a good steam.
That's one of the worst places you can
And
go.
over the network, Maya says, "Remember what Chandra said about the water?"
Oh, fair point.
Yeah, one knob uses the water that is collected from the falls, and one water uses straight out of the sea. So it's always
And
a
of
gamble.
course, I'm sure it switches randomly back and forth magically on the hour.
We don't want to impose too much. We also have a lot of stuff to do while we're here as well.
So
very
business
interesting, though.
then.
Ship.
It's always business. Well, if you don't want to have any fun, then it is what it is.
We just wish to respect your time.
Oh, but you're my friends and my honored guest. I can make time for you.
Well, like you said before, you're a very busy woman and have a lot to do. So we don't want to keep you.
Right. Of course. She snaps her fingers, and you guys find yourselves in the throne room. She's already sitting on the throne, and she looks down at you and says, "All right, show me the orb." You have the orb, I assume.
And I guess you were tending to it.
Yeah, I'm assuming I would have taken it back from the father-son duo before we came here. So I'll step forward.
Present the orb.
Having the new guy give it to me, just in case.
He's been around for a while.
Well, he's no baby. I imagine he's been around for a while.
Indeed.
She cocks her head, and it is almost like one of these winged siren statues. These siren statues look like sirens if sirens had no bird parts, just cool fucking wings and resplendently perfect forms.
How
She
they were
says,
described before the curse.
correct. She cocks her head as if listening to the statues and says, "Oh, yes, yes, of course. We can't forget that." So, the orb, bring it forward, Antiquity. As you approach the throne, you see the scythe hovering off to the side, and again, you feel that pull. You feel the presence of your family. Like when a house feels empty and then everyone gets home from their day and the house begins to fill with that noise, that presence of of life. Something that some people might take for granted, but having had that taken from you, Andronikos, when you feel that rush of sound, that presence of life, you feel your heart almost stop in your chest. You hear faintly, "Father, Pater, are you there?" Lutheria looks at you and says, "Antiquity, the orb."
Does any Can I? Here, I'll hand out the orb.
All right. As you extend it willingly, she just sort of like spins her finger around in the air, and the orb kind of travels to her. Wonderful. She just puts it in her boobas of holding.
Which side is the scythe on?
Oh, it's right here.
Sort of scooch over that way a little bit.
Yep.
Your scythe.
Yes, this is my scythe.
Can you hear any whispers from it that seem?
Oh, I hear whispers from it all the time.
What do they? Do they try to trick you? Do they sound like other things?
Always. There are things in that scythe. Things that would melt your mind. That would take your heart and eat it in front of you. The things I've trapped in there. They are the bane of all that lives, of all that wants to be. They seek to tug at the threads of the fabric of our reality and unmake them. Why? Do you want to see?
What happens to things that are unmade? What do they? Do they just stop? Do they go somewhere? Does your scythe? Does it contain its own world? How does it work?
In a way, I suppose it does. It is no world that anyone would ever want to be in. A world is a very large thing and a very, very small thing. You can find a world anywhere. You are a world. Many don't know this, but you are millions of things all working together to make something more than you are. In a way, each of you mortals is like my mother, a living world. Isn't that wonderful?
How do you know that it only tells you lies?
Oh, well, I suppose it tells you the truth. I've sort of become tone deaf to it after a while. You can only listen to so many scheming nightmares before you just shut them all out. Otherwise, you might go crazy. Why the interest for antiquity? It would go so much easier if you could just be honest with me. Here you
Well,
are, a stranger, in my court. I allow it because of my love for Ohlen. I trust his judgment.
Lady Lutheria,
Hmm.
I have met you at least a dozen times.
You must have had an incredibly mundane disguise for the eyes of a
No,
god see the
I-
truth of all things.
I appeared before you as I do now.
I see.
There's some sort of curse, some doom upon me that
Ah, you're the creature from the Isle of Exiles.
the one that your beast rendered to component parts.
You must forgive my Hydra. Children can be so curious.
Yes, that is me. I
How came you by such powers?
don't know. And I can't yet
She
find
she
out.
blushes and says, "In the previous times that you've been with me, has it ever been?" And she coyly covers her face with her hand, and blushes harder.
No, it is not.
Ah, that speaks well for you. It would be embarrassing if we laid together and it was that forgettable. And then she lets out a loud, terrifying laugh.
Yeah, yes.
Or laughs alone.
To get back on the topic, every time I'm near your scythe,
Mm.
what happened to me happened to my family and my entire line, but worse. They didn't only vanish from people's minds, they vanished in actuality. And every time
Oh.
I'm near your scythe, I hear them. Or at least I
Oh.
hear my children, and
Oof, that's unfortunate.
I
You wouldn't want a child in there.
just want to know that it's not them.
Ah. Hmm. I could put you in there. Then you could find out for yourself.
There's not a way out, is what you've told me before.
Yes, but if you're like these others, you're an anomaly. You can just do it anyways. That's what I love about you. All of you. While others are bound by the threads of fate, you were never meant to be. Your threads should have been plucked and burned, but they weren't. So if you'd like, I can unmake you. Send you inside. And mayhaps you'll find what you're looking for. And if you truly are worthy of that whelp's prophecy, well, then you'll find your way home. Though I dare say, a father's home is with his children.
Do it.
All right.
All of us, right? Not just.
I mean, she's not gonna fucking send Orin to the shadow realm. That's for damn sure. But as he says that, yeah, she sticks the scythe upon him. The scythe makes no attack rolls. It can never critically hit, but it can never miss. It carves into you over and over and over again. And you feel both the force of it and the necrosis settling in. You have gained much strength, and it takes many cuts, slashes, before you feel your soul begin to separate from your body, before you feel the end coming for you. This close to Lutheria, you feel the inevitability of your death. You realize that to stand against her is to run towards your end.
Hold on. I feel like what's going on here?
And with the last stroke of the scythe, you fall dead, Andronikos.
How fast was this? I feel like there should have been some initiative here. I don't know.
Oh, I mean, yeah, if you wanted to jump in, I mean...
From our perspective, it looks like Lutheria just starts killing Andronicus. So I mean,
well, I mean, that's
I
from
mean-
the perspective of someone that wants to take a pee or get a drink, but I mean, from the perspective of everyone else, he asked
I
Lutheria...
guess like Did we like how much
Yeah,
of
we didn't
us
fully understand what was.
understand like how much of us did we get of that conversation?
Basically, he told her, she said, what you guys interpreted as what you seek is inside the scythe. I could send you inside the scythe.
And
He
did
said
did
do
we
it.
get the part where he said that?
Well, and you got the part about being anomalies and
Okay.
existing outside of fate and all that. You got all that.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
we heard him say do it.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So, Andronikos. Let me grab some different music here. All right.
Have
So,
another side event.
what do you guys do as he dies
I think
right in front of you?
Warren Barter ran up to try to stop the scythe from killing him, but he kind of knows it's futile. You can't. You can only slow it down.
Oh, were you here for the part where the scythe never rolls attack rolls?
Yeah. I got my
Yeah.
I had my headset on. I had to take the dog out. She was freaking out.
Okay. Oh, okay. So you kind of
I
ran back in.
I was
and be
kind of
like, "Ah,
exactly
no!"
because I was wondering
Okay.
why nobody else jumped up whenever he's getting slowly murdered by the scythe. But
I mean, people
So
ask.
is she wielding the scythe, or is it just
No.
there?
It's
Okay.
like a dancing weapon. It's just kind of doing its thing.
All right.
yes, I guess he would have ran up and but since it doesn't roll attacks, he could only slow down the damage.
Yeah.
But I guess as he moves up, he could probably see that Andronicus is not fighting it.
Mhm.
And I think we know that he is fixated on the scythe. We don't know why though. So I guess Warren will just stare down at him.
She says, "I don't know who he was, but he was very intriguing. And I hope I gave him what he wanted."
Who he was? Or what just happened here?
He's gone
So
inside.
as you guys are saying that, I guess the scene will transition to Andronikos. All right. Let me see if I got a
It'll
good.
be fun to see if I come back if you guys remember me.
All right. I'm trying to think of a good map we could put you in for this one. We could use this one more than once. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Budget cuts and all that jazz. Okay. So and
I mean, Doctor Who survived it.
yeah, exactly. So was survive budget cuts?
Well, no, I mean just like using the same map, if
right.
you will. Using the same
Yeah.
set pieces over and over and over
Beautiful.
and over again.
And then we need a cameraman, I guess, for everybody. Let me see.
Well, I feel like British people have lower standards when it comes to television.
Yeah, bro.
Well, look,
we
it's
don't
my
need an
least favorite
international
map of
incident.
the-
Yeah.
Said what I said.
Okay.
Yeah, and you're wrong.
So you find yourself in the spooky version of Pickle Forest, where you died once before. And as you look around, this haunting scene just sort of goes on forever. in all directions. Like when you spawn into a new world of Minecraft and you're like, damn it, because you're just in the middle of like the most boring forest biome. It just goes on fucking for fucking. You get to top of a hill and it's just fucking forest, and like 150 blocks every direction. You hear off in the distance, your children. Pater, Pater, is that you?
Yes, and then I'll start running towards them, towards the voice at least.
As you run towards the voice, you find nothing except more of this creepy forest, and then you hear again their voices. Pater, please, please, Pater.
Come towards me. I'll keep talking. Just walk towards my voice.
As you begin to kind of hear footsteps coming towards you, you feel a presence behind you. And when you look, you just see a woman. She has light brown skin and just like silvery white hair. She is dressed in just simple kind of white robes. Her eyes are just two pools of silver light. And you know that while this is not the goddess Mitros herself, this is the goddess Mitros. And she says, I'm so sorry, Andronikos.
For erasing everything I knew?
I understand that your heart has hardened against the gods, and it is my fault. All of this is my fault. But I think you've come far enough that you deserve some measure of truth. Will you listen to my words?
I'll listen. I don't know how if I'll heed them, but I'll hear you out at least.
By now you know that you and the others are different. You cannot be harmed by the fates or by her many rules. And when she says her, you could definitely feel the capital R there on her. It is for this reason that you and your allies and your bloodlines are perfect candidates for prophecies. It was prophesied, Andronikos, that your bloodline would deprive Lutheria of what she wanted most. when news of that prophecy reached her ears, she began to prune your family tree, leaf by leaf, twig by twig, and branch by branch. She took them. I could not act against her, for death is her domain. But I could not stand to see her will, so wicked and cruel, acted out, uncontested. I refused to see her rewarded with her heart's desire. And so I cursed you. You and those left in your bloodline to be forgotten. In this way, the prophecy was forgotten. In this way, her lust for your destruction was forgotten. And in this way, she was foiled.
How far did she get? How many are gone forever, and how many are just forgotten?
You see,
Are,
you see tears well in her eyes, but they do not shed, and she sort of blinks them away, and she says, "You are all that's left." Andronikos, there is no family for you to save.
you didn't really care. You just wanted the prophecy to happen. You just wanted me to foil her. All of this time, you could have done it at any point, and you chose to wait until the end.
This is not the end, not by far. This is the beginning. Your family's souls are here in this scythe. They suffer endless torment. They are hunted, killed, devoured. They rise with what passes for mourning each perceived day, only to face these horrors again and again. There is but one way to free them. The destruction of the scythe. I need you to understand what a costly thing that would be. What a terrible thing that would be. I need you to know that sacrifices are made for the greater good. I wanted the curse to make you forget them as well. But your love for them was stronger even than the goddess of death's desire. Nothing could erase your love for them. Nothing could purge it from your mind. I wanted to protect you and the prophecy and spare you this pain. I wanted to shield you from the truth.
You wanted
your-
to hide that you didn't act until it was too late.
I
You wanted to
acted as
channel me towards
swiftly
your
as I
enemies.
could.
You wanted to channel me towards your enemies. You wanted to give me the motivation to end her, without even giving me the reason why. You
The
wanted
pitcher
guilt
of
me
wine was
into not
spilled.
letting them free by saying it'll save the world. It'll keep everyone safe.
I am no longer of this world, Andronikos.
Then I'll break the scythe where you are and let you face them.
She will not allow that.
Not while she's alive.
You don't know who I speak of. You don't even speak to Mitros so much as what Mitros left for you to find. I am beyond this world and unable to reach it. It is closed to me, as is my family, as are my people, as was the sacrifice I made.
Then I'm thankful that a plane is saved from your meddling.
The woman kind of smiles sadly and says, perhaps I am a meddler. Perhaps I've overreached and overstepped. Everything I did to protect the people I love. The world that we swore to protect. I did what was necessary. And when I looked ahead on fate's great loom and saw where all the threads end in darkness and in flame, I saw you. You and the others will stop what is to come. You will stop Lutheria. You had to be protected. Acting from such a remote place of power, I did what I could with what I had. You were the only one I could save. Please. Please understand. Your life, it is nothing compared to the lives of those you could save.
If you had just stayed out of my world, you and your children and your husband, if you would have just let the settlers reap what they sowed, none of this would have happened.
We were
All of
called
those
upon for
lives would
aid
never
and we
have existed
answered.
to have been in danger.
What's done is done. And whether or not we had come, whether or not we had answered the prayers of those desperate to live, those downtrodden, who had no champions to defend them against the tyrant, the child bully that is Sidon. Regardless, I have seen the tapestry of fate. I see it all end. With or without us. But you can stop it. And if I, in my meddling, had not seen, it would have ended. In fire, in darkness, and in oblivion. You are beyond my control. You are beyond my power. And your heart has been broken. But you must make the right choice, Andronikos. Let them go. And focus on saving those who still live. Focus on the world that wants to be. Protect it from the darkness that is coming. Off in the distance, you hear your children. Father, why can we not find you? I can hear your voice. Are you with Mother? Please, answer.
I'll look at the thing that was Mitros. If you think that this love that can best the goddess of death and defy the goddess of civilization and order, or whatever it was that you think you represented, won't choose that over everything, sorely mistaken.
She looks at you and she says, I can see why Kira loves you so much. You let your heart guide you. Valis learned from me to push such things aside, to always think of the big picture, of the greater good. But she, Kira, she never could. Always her heart led her into pain, into failure, into regret, into ruin. I did not choose you. I simply found you. And if you are selfish enough and foolish enough to unleash untold horrors upon the world, just to free a few souls, then that is what you are. And she kind of like backs away from you. She like motions, and you see a staircase of shimmering silver light. She says, I can return you to your body. Not even a minute has passed since you were slain. The scythe does not have hold of you just yet. And off in the distance, you again hear both children calling out for you, lost, frightened. And she winces, and you see those unshed tears kind of pooling in her eyes. Or you can do what your heart tells you to do. And let the world be damned.
I'll go back for now, but not because I've chosen your way. Just it's the only way to get them out. I can't do it from this side.
It is unlikely that we shall ever meet again. Please, do not take your hatred of me and my methods out on my family. I have had time to look back and see that in many ways I mistreated and misused them. Rather than a mother, I was a spy, mistress. Rather than the most precious things that I should love and protect, they were pieces on the board. But what's done is done. Tell my husband I want him to love again. Tell Pythor it's not too late. It's never too late. Tell Valis that it's okay to cry. And tell Kira that she was always enough. And if you see my sweet boy, tell him I can't wait to see him again. And as you kind of look at her, but then away for just a moment to kind of glance up the stairs, you feel her presence is gone.
Andronikos will mutter to himself a little bit and say, I don't know which is worse, your indifference in life or Thylea's negligence, but I'm not going to follow in either of your footsteps. and then we'll start walking up the steps.
All right. And then the less than a minute that he's been on the grounds, where you guys are trying to figure out what the fuck happened. Julian, Oren.
Yep.
Orange got his hands on his hips like, shit.
I guess Yorgos has to step in now.
Like Julian was like, checking his pulse, slapping his face.
Yeah, so
Like-
as you
like,
slap his
come on,
face, all of his gills and frills just kind of go and his eyes open wide.
Oh, yeah. Perhaps I
got
should
him.
slap you more often.
Oh.
Are you
Did
trying
I-
to get back at me for when we were kids, Julian?
I'm
No.
sorry, did it not take?
What?
She snaps her fingers and the scythe starts floating towards Andronikos.
No, it. I was there.
Oh. Stop. And the blade kind of halts right before it cleanly slices your head off. And just hovers back. You can still hear their frightened cries from inside.
Find what you were looking for, Andronikos.
Yes, I am curious. If you actually went in and came back out, what was it like?
It was an endless, almost alien forest.
Mm.
The light was, well, similar to this, actually. Sort of ever present and dim.
Mm.
I didn't encounter any of the other denizens. Fortunately,
Nothing?
I guess.
So you just were there and then you weren't? That's rather boring.
So you didn't find what you were looking for.
Yes and no.
Ah, how mysterious. Well, it seems our business has been concluded. My servants have taken into custody the proffered whales, who are adorable. I'm going to name one Queen Maya, and the other one Maya of the Oldwood.
That's a lot of Maya.
Well, you might say they get good mileage.
Yeah.
And she lets out a terrifying laugh. Georgos explains to Harley that
This joke is still funny because even though we're in a European Greek game, we still use the imperial system.
all right, so back to the scene over here.
Oren offers a handout to Andronikos. Pull him up.
Yeah,
Seem like you've been through a lot, Antiquity. You're welcome to spend the night here on my ship.
I have my own room, actually.
Yeah, we've actually got many things to attend to, so I think it's best if we get going. But we appreciate your
Aww.
hospitality, Theria.
You don't want to stay? What are you doing down here then? Maybe I could help.
There's one thing, actually. Maya's
Okay.
scythe. We lost it. Maya's sickle when we were
Oh.
moving down
Chakra.
Charybdis.
That's unfortunate.
It was dropped.
Gosh.
Do you think we could use
Oh.
the scrying room to find it?
Sure.
If you could even just say it was yours, we could have someone take it back.
No, don't reveal
I
our trump card.
suppose. If you'd like to use the scrying room, you certainly can.
Could we,
Why bother with that old thing? Why don't you go get your mother's instead?
it's both. I would want to know if we could use it to find both.
Both? That's awfully greedy. Why do you need two? You don't even seem like a martial character.
Well, the one it's more symbolic. Where I've come, where I came from, and where I'm going.
Hmm. I
The one I
mean,
lost is the one I made, and the one I'm finding is my mother's.
ugh. See. Well, your mother's can be found in the forest, west of here. But it's guarded by... Well, it'd be more fun if you found out for yourself. I don't suppose you're after treasure? I guess not after the whole Midas situation. You're probably pretty good for treasure. I was going to say, there's quite a bit left over in the mere prison. It seems that there was a bit of a tussle between a dragon and the kraken. Anyways, the dragon does a great job of hoarding treasure.
Dragon, would that be?
Gosh, what was its name? I think, Hezball?
Hmm. Oh, see, that was Xander's dragon, wasn't it?
No. Hezball is the dragon that was, the companion of Arestia, who was the BFF of Midas.
Ah.
Yeah, she was Midas's like go out in the world, get more treasure agent. She was the treasure scout, essentially, she and Hezebal. They are the ones that disappeared on a mission to the Nether Seas trying to find the many treasures of the dead.
Sound like they did find their treasure. Hmm. Yeah, Warren just nods.
It might be worth a look. And odds are, if any new treasure fell from the skies, Hezebal would be the first to snatch it up. The waters don't seem to affect him anymore. Well, you're all so quiet. All
Warren's
right.
pondering.
Um, what do you want to do with Talius, by the way? I don't think you're really equipped to adopt Broken Titan. And if he causes any mischief, well, that's going to be between you and my father, since you're officially taking custody of him. Did I not explain that part of the deal? Oh, well. It's your
No, that
problem
was
now.
sort of omitted.
Don't worry. Just berate him, tear him down, beat him, remind him of his many follies. Just keep the spirit low, and you should be all right.
Can he shrink down? Can he change sizes like you're able to do?
Oh, I'm sure at one point he could, yes. Right now he's so big because he lacks that ability. You see, Titans were quite large, but being so big in such a small world is ungainly. Takes quite a bit of effort to keep so much in such a tight package.
Hmm.
I'm sure with some, I don't know, therapy, he could probably eventually regain control of his mind and all that.
Hmm.
Listen, when Daddy's little girl is given a job, she does the job well. Because no one wants to get spanked by a man with 100 hands.
Thank you for the warning. Do it again.
Hmm. You want a leash or something? Could just drag him behind your boat, I guess. Or have him pull the boat. Give your rowers a break. Speaking of break, I do have a pleasure lounge. If you'd like some shore leave for your crew.
Hmm.
The many denizens in the pleasure den live to serve.
Perhaps sometime in the future we can return for that, but for now we've got things to tend to.
Yes, yes, your very important list of things to do.
Indeed.
Now, Oren, you have explained to your friends the situation with Hirak and Kalak.
Oh, see, I mean, we just know that they're still serving Lutheria as like kind of a hit squad.
Yeah, I mean they are her agents out in the field, but are also gladiatorial champions at the island of the Oathbreakers.
Hmm.
And for Kalak's crime of escaping the underworld, I mean, they're basically bound in service for centuries. With the
You know,
promise of maybe going to Elysium someday.
he might not have brought that up.
Ah, I see.
I see. I see. Well, if that's the case, might be one of those things where I
Prison break? What?
well,
What?
we did talk about going to the arena and see if we can defeat becoming the champion, so you can get somebody free. But you have to trade somebody in, and you do that, or can you just, as your reward for for winning, get someone free?
Well, they were gladiators there. The people that are imprisoned on the island are the ones that you need to trade for. I don't know if the gladiators count as prisoners or not.
I mean, everyone that's still in the Nether Seas that hasn't been sent to the Elysium Fields is essentially a prisoner.
I thought they were like extra super prisoners on the
Oh,
island.
oh yeah. The Isle of Oathbreakers is not managed exclusively by Lutheria. It is managed by the Fates and the Furies. Which there are apparently Areniers on this boat, if you needed more information on that. She looks over at you, Julian, and says, Julian, have you been playing the squares much?
I haven't had many opportunities of late. It seems our adversaries are more physical than cerebral.
Ah, yes. Yes. My brother is a bit of a brute. He's sworn off the game for reasons that will become apparent to you relatively soon. But I mean, not everybody's sworn off the game. And you see a massive life-size, well, not like, I mean person-sized 20 squares board appear. I don't suppose you have, well, any interest in testing yourself?
If she's challenging,
Oh no, she specifically worded it as, do you have any interest in testing yourself? But she has not issued a challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm always am interested in playing.
Mm.
I just there's a time and a place, and
Of course, of course. Say no more. And she snaps her fingers and the board disappears.
I
Well-
still remember when we just played for funsies. I'm
Uh-huh.
not that stupid.
Mm-mm. Okay. She says,
That was before you had 20 squares lore.
fair, fair. He says, well, this has been wonderful. If you don't want to be entertaining or do something fun, maybe you should all leave.
Right, we'll be going.
All right. So yeah, when you say you'll be going, she snap her fingies, and you guys are back, on your boat.
Julian will turn to Maya and will gently say,
And
I
as you
don't
run up to
want
Maya,
to-
she's running towards Andronikos and getting ready to try and heal him.
Okay. I don't mean to put you out, Maya, but being the most empathetic of us, do you feel up to trying to manage a Titan?
Well, I figured since he's supposed to be the Titan of craft, you might be able to relate to him the most. But we can work together.
That's probably for the best. I mean, I can relate from a crafting standpoint, but sometimes my relationships are a bit. Well, let's just call it what it is. Fucked up.
How about this? We work together. I'll see if I can figure out how he feels and what things might be beneficial to helping him. And then maybe we could work together in seeing if we can implement them.
Okay, I'll add his mini to the map. Here you go.
Look at this.
Yeah, so he is holding the chain and the chain has been attached to the front of your boat. His soulless eye sockets just sort of stare out into nothing. Oh, his lips would still be sewed shut. So this picture's not completely accurate.
I suppose hoping he would be in a similar state to Halcyon was wishful thinking. He's free now, at least, so we can try.
Kyra looks at him, and she just has like a tear kind of going down her cheek, and she says, "Is he free though? I've never seen someone so broken before."
It's better than he was. There you go.
Can you at least cut his mouth free or something?
Try to connect. Sibo, can you...
Mm-hmm.
Connected to the network.
Julian will click his heels together, and he'll
Yeah.
fly up.
Okay.
You get a better look at the stitching. See if it's something that a mundane weapon could cut, or whether we need something fancier.
Yeah. You get the sense right now that a god did this to him.
You saying it'll take a +3 weapon?
Ooh, I mean a +3 weapon wouldn't hurt.
An axe made of
I mean,
magma.
it probably would
I'll,
hurt. It probably would hurt a
Oh
lot.
yeah.
You don't think the dude's in pain already?
You're gonna give him some mad chap lips.
I mean, I've got a keen weapon on me at the moment.
Aw.
Crash is like, no, son, that's not going to do
My
it.
sweet son.
So I guess Andronikos will have to be levitated up.
Yeah,
So,
buddy, we're heading
I can
into
cast fire on myself.
we're heading into tier 3, son. Like I
Yeah,
mean,
I'll just-
like
I'll cast fly on
Listen,
myself.
I'll take
Fly
what
up.
melee weapon I can get because I had an
Fair,
awesome
fair.
one, and then I got my ass kicked and it got taken from me.
All right, so you're gonna fly up to him, Andronikos? Or levitate
Yeah.
up to him?
Yeah, I'm gonna fly up to him.
Okay.
take your 11 HP just in case.
Do you see the size of the mini to your mini? That is how big his mini is compared to your mini. Alright, you fly up to his face. He looks at you. You realize now that he's not missing his eyes, but his eyes have just been blinded over and over and over again, and they are just nothing but balls of scar tissue.
He's gonna need a less restoration to sort that out.
I'm going
Dang it.
to cut the threads from your lips. It will probably hurt. But I'm not doing this to hurt you.
This entity does not seem to care if you hurt it or not.
And then I'll
Okay.
slice through them, melt through them with the axe. But then I'll after I like sever each stitch, I'll like pull it through to where it's not just like hanging out in his lips, to where they're actually freed.
Yeah, this close, you realize that his skin is neither stone nor metal. It just has a metallic sheen to it. But it is, or at least was, living flesh at one time. As you unstitch his mouth, you can feel his gaze watching you. You hear a voice in your mind. Nice. Axe.
Thanks. I pulled it from the head of a lava creature. Called himself Axehead. It wasn't very creative.
Good name.
It was certainly to the point. That's true.
As you finally free his mouth, he opens it experimentally. You see that he has no tongue. It has been removed so many times that it regrew into a painful knot of flesh. Broken. Broken. I am broken.
Is he just saying this to Andronikos?
Yeah, currently.
Okay.
Currently. But you're the patron of craft. You know that when something's broken, it can just be built again, but as is a common saying in our group, better than before.
No. Father. Sorry, Father. No more building. No more making. Sorry, Father.
Your father gave you to your sister's keeping for millennia, but you've been released to us now.
Lucy hurts me.
Not anymore.
Lucy hurts me, so father won't.
Hmm.
Father is angry. Father is always angry. Lucy protects me.
We're going to protect
Where
you now.
he kind of looks around. Where is Lucy?
She's not here anymore.
Is she safe? Did father hurt her?
No. Yes, she's safe. No, father didn't hurt her.
Good. Good. I'm sorry, father. I'm sorry. No more building. No more making. No more thinking.
Is there anything else I can help you with right now?
I will pull your ship. The exercise helps.
Helps you or helps Lucy?
Helps me not to think.
You can take a break from pulling the ship for now.
No. To be idle. It could make father angry. He could come and hurt you. Hurt Lucy.
Lucy's not around here right now. He won't hurt her.
Where is she? He looks around confused.
Sailing.
She likes boats. I built her boat as a present. It has many rooms, many worlds. Big but small. I do not build anymore. I'm sorry, father. I will not build anymore. And at this point, on that last, I'm sorry, father, I will not build anymore, everyone on the deck and on the ship, you feel that thought kind of wash over you. The sorrow of it, the regret, and the yearning to actually build again. But the absolute and total defeat of a being who could never hope for something like that again.
In the picture, it almost looks like he has a construct arm. Does he have that in actuality, or?
Nah, I just, it's like this was like the coolest looking Frankenstein I could find. So I was
Okay.
like, yeah, we'll go.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
Over the network, I think Maya wants to say, if if Kintamane did this for building the Murmuki, I'm surprised he has not done anything to Sidon for using them.
I think Kintamane is perhaps slipping into indifference as much as Thylea has.
I don't think so. You've seen his hand still move, still act.
Andronikos, I don't think he's meaning to be rude, but you hear him say, Sidon, father's favored son.
That could explain it also.
To be loved by father. No. No. Father, I am sorry. I will always be sorry. I will not build again. I will not create again. I will not think again.
It's another thing too. Now that he mentions that, okay, is that thought going to everybody too, or is it just Andronikos?
I think that part would just be Andronikos because they kind of had this lingering connection, and this dude's very out of practice doing anything except pulling a barge.
Okay, never mind.
And being tortured on the regular.
Living.
Yeah.
Huh.
But if you guys are on a telepathic bond, I mean, like, Andronikos could be sharing these things with you guys with the speed of thinking, right? Essentially.
Yeah, after he seems to be done talking for a little bit, I'll catch everybody up on what's been said so far.
Then Maya would say, so this is the punishment Kintamane gave for building something that could destroy Thylea.
How much of it was Kintamane's actual punishment? How much of it was just Lutherian's?
It's
Hard
true.
to say.
But and that's the reason why I think that Sidon right now has built a weapon that kills Titan using the power of stars, and is aiming it at part of Thylea. And Kintamane has not done anything.
Maybe he doesn't know the danger.
Something's not right. Well,
what I'm mostly concerned with is whether or not his words are true. If he truly does need to be tortured to avoid Kintamane showing up, I suppose we can abstain and see.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of things that are happening, and Kintamane has not showed up. But we've seen his hands be active, at least when we are near them. I wonder what's going on.
Were they thinking active, or were they just responding to movement near them? How? I don't know.
Something to think about. I guess we probably should not spend too much time idle here. Where to next? We're up north, so should we head to the cube?
There's cubes all over.
Well, the one that we know has Pythios' one that we think has Pythios' daughter. If not that, we have the Force and the Isle of Breakers.
We're already on the north. Go and inspect the cubes.
Yeah, I think we can at least take a look at it. Maybe on the outside of the cube, though, it's labeled.
Okay.
We'll have Thales walk alongside the boat. Okay, at least doing the service of not having to whole. Andronikos, perhaps you can work with him, see if you can recall the ability to shrink down, or if you can piece it together.
I mean, Mad says is that if he can recall the ability to shrink down and he wants to work to not think, you could have him help row. Maybe that'll be a little bit easier on him.
Yeah, I just...
And also keep him satisfied personally.
Orin's like looking down at how much of Thylea is above the waterline?
It's like the belly button up.
Okay,
Can't
I'm about
be,
to say, if it was this, what we see in the midi is what we see.
Yeah.
can't be comfortable standing in the Nyx.
He's gonna be all top heavy. He's gonna have the skinniest legs.
I think he's gonna be shredded.
I feel like leg day is not being skipped here because
No, I mean it's all the acid's eating it away. So like,
fair.
Yeah.
He's gonna have very swimmer legs and then bodybuilder upper body.
Yeah.
You're gonna get out. Just wait till you see those abs.
Yeah.
Washboard right there.
Right. He seems to have taken a liking to you, Andronikos.
Jocks.
Yeah.
If you can keep an eye on his health, maybe see if he naturally regenerates or if... Not even quite sure.
I think he naturally regenerates. Looking at off.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Sibo, your knowledge of history and whatnot is, if this guy is on par with like Lutheria and Sidon, or cut from the same cloth, essentially. Yeah, they just kind of get their health back, like just at a constant rate.
Yeah, but he's standing in the Nyx, so
it doesn't seem to affect him at all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought I was kind of like counteracting his healing.
Oh, no, he's just that torn, like scarred up, like he's just been tortured that much for that long. Yeah.
Or I was thinking like getting him small and getting him out of the Nyx would be a good.
If you get him out of the Nyx, yeah, I mean it's
because right now he's getting eat up, so his healing factor, you know, it's like Wolverine style. He's forcing up, trying to regrow all his body parts.
Listen,
lower,
you don't have to roll any checks to know that being here is bad.
Yeah.
You guys are all confident that not being in the Nether Seas is good, and being in the Nether Seas is bad.
Yeah. Depending on your perspective.
Yeah. All right, so you guys are gonna head on over to this other, this northernmost cube.
Yep.
Okay. All right, go ahead and give me some mental checks.
Nice.
Okay.
Andronikos. They're gonna be talking to Thales for a long time.
We need one from Julian. So far, Sibo and Andronikos, another long journey. The days.
I can roll for Julian if he stepped away.
Oh, okay. Did he have to step away? Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's 3 of you this time. Oof. Okay.
That was just a raw check.
Yeah, it was just raw. Yeah, your best mental stat. Yeah. So, Steve-O, Andronikos, Julian, the days, they bleed into weeks as you sail aimlessly through the Nether Seas. You only had like 50 days, less than 50 days before the shit really hit the fan. There can't be that much time left. Your thoughts turn to the people of Mitros, whose lives are imperiled. Sidon, who plots war crimes and devastation. And here you are, impotently sailing in this endless turquoise sea with this brain-dead kaiju zombie. Why? What is the point of it all? Andronikos, you can't help but think of your family, of your children, in perpetual torment, in a pocket dimension meant to house the most vile souls and the most horrific nightmares. Endlessly, eternally. Living through a cycle of fear and death and rebirth. But eventually, you guys see the cube hanging from the ceiling off in the distance. There is no discernible way to reach it.
How high up is it?
It hangs about 100 feet above the sea.
How tall is Talius? How long are his arms?
Yeah, I mean, he could definitely reach up, and you guys could like climb him and get there, or you could try to get him to elevator you guys up there.
Yeah. All right,
Okay.
Andronicus. We made more kind of to know Talius better. Do you think he's capable of hoisting us up there?
So this is what a cube looks like.
The fucking hourglass is so.
And then there's the hourglass there that is somehow also part of the chain that kind of holds the structure in place. The one depicted is touching the water, but the one that you guys are trying to get to is suspended very high up, as if they really don't want anyone to go to this particular cube.
Ah, yes, this is one of my many doomsday devices.
All right. We'll call PDOS up.
Oh, so is he gonna be on your B team for this?
Sure.
Sure. Okay.
Bye. What's the play here?
You're not feeling super confident about this. It sounds like, Oren.
Well,
So I guess like while we're while we're sailing here and like getting to the cube and arriving, and PTOS is there. I guess Maya would turn to PTOS and say, "Look, I don't know what happened to your daughter."
I told you what happened to her.
Well, no, I know, but I don't know what was causing her to be sick and why this.
It was
why this was.
obviously Lutheria.
Either
She
way,
is the goddess of death.
I would on our journey, we've learned that many of the titans and gods and are very very fallible. They're not perfect. They're not omnipotent. So there may be stuff that they can't even do, as we saw. But I do think that part of what we should do is try and something that we've been trying to do is be better. And I guess what I'm trying to say is we've come here to this cube, and I want you to come with us as we go and look at it. Maybe, let us know how your daughter was before you lost her. I kind of want to hear, maybe, if there's anything you wanted to tell her. Maybe we can see if she can hear it.
We are not here to free her.
we're here to gather information.
Gather information.
Whatever is afflicting her, it needs to be.
Wait, we just met with Lutheria. You didn't tell her of my situation? You did not ask permission?
Yes, you escaped the Nether Seas. If we had mentioned your name,
Let's put it on
We
to
did-
reveal
We
motives.
did talk.
But you are a champion, and you could have just asked for me.
There's still time for me
We
to
talked
ask.
to Kira, PTOS, and she remembers you. She remembers your prayers to her.
The prayers
and
she did not answer.
they could not answer.
They couldn't do it, PTOS. But like I said before,
That can't be true.
our mission is to
People
do
like you,
something that the
Andronikos,
gods couldn't
people who
do.
are servants of the gods, can cure disease. It should have been nothing to them. Nothing.
Yes, you've met many gods. Do they seem perfect to you? Beings that can do anything.
No. They seem worthless.
Andronikos sort of companionably
slap-
claps him on the back.
Slapping high fives here. And Johnny, Oren will say, there's still time for me to ask Lytheria about your plight, PDOS, but I wanted to travel here and see what we can see with our own eyes before we go seeking any aid from her.
The inside of that cube. You can reach it from the top. There is a hidden panel. Inside is a staircase. It leads down to the bottom. But it is much larger inside than it appears. He says that, and you're looking at this cube, it's like 150 feet on a side. There are guardians, spirits. I was able to slip past them. I don't know if you will be able to. I shrouded myself in the tattered remains of souls I was able to trade for on Oathbreaker Island. She is at the very bottom. She lays asleep in a bed. Lytheria claims she has only the sweetest dreams. But I would never trust a word she says. Not the woman, the creature who would take Maya from me. Who would keep her from me. He turns to you, Andronikos, and he says, I know you do not have a family of your own, but you seem like the sort of man who could understand. My child is in there, a prisoner. How can I live my life knowing her fate? And on that note, that's where we'll end the session.
Parallels.
All right, so we had extra life last week. We made $3,500 for charity. The teams made like $4,500. We're gonna do a bonus 12-hour extra life stream December 2nd. If you were too baby for 25 hours, now's your chance to be less baby. do 12-hour marathon. Same idea, team of kobolds going through some very cool homebrew dungeons, getting a ton of broken magical items and special benefits from these Gashapon orbs, and all sorts of crazy extra life hijinks. Just broken Dungeons and Dragons, pay to win, fucking crazy. Hopefully that will get our team to their goal this year, which is 5K. I think Red might be running some more one-shots in December to help with that as well. And there are a lot of games on our server right now, and a lot of Pathfinder games on our server right now. If you are interested in games, we're drowning in them right now. So keep an eye out. If you're just not getting enough vitamin D&D in your diet, or vitamin PF2E, that doesn't sound as cool though. What else? I think that's everything. Oh, the raffle for the thing. I was gonna do it today. I didn't get it done today. I'm gonna get it done, I swear to God. But everybody that donated, your names got entered into a raffle. There's also digital rewards for people that donated $20 or more. They're all gonna be sent out as soon as possible. So, anyone else have anything before we adjourn?
Oh.
Nothing here.
You're not.
All right. So, and one last thing. Nathan, you're good, right? You signed up for Greek tragedy is your background. So
Yeah.
okay. Just want to make sure that you're okay though, because if it's ever too bleak, you gotta let me know, because you can't be bleak here and then also bleak in the morning, because that's too much bleak on a Sunday. You know what I'm saying? All right. With that, I hope everybody has a good week, and we will continue the exploration of the Nether Seas next Sunday.
All right.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks for running.
Night. Thanks for the game.
Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks again for the fan inspirations, Scott, Trick, and Red.